It's been really fascinating, really interesting working with a group of artists. I'm used to working with artists anyway, because that's part of the job as an art writer, is to engage with artists, to talk to them, to find out what their work is about, and then to try and communicate what their work is about. So I'm very used to that. But it's really interesting sitting, looking at other people's work with them, because they're picking up things which I'm not picking up. And I was talking to one of the other jurors last night, and they look at the work from one position. They look at it as the maker going into the work, whereas I look at it from the position of the viewer looking into the work. And in a sense, that coming together, I think, is a fascinating, really interesting meeting, and brings something slightly different of the way I understand and appreciate the work. I suppose my role as a Reverend is not to do on one level with my work as an art writer. They're two distinct things, but also they're totally interconnected for me, that I'm not two separate people, I'm one person. I think when I look at work, I'm looking for beauty, I'm looking for wonder, I'm looking for amazement in the everyday. And it could be within an abstract work, it can be a figurative work, but it's something about that, I suppose, does reflect something of where I come from as a reverend, as a priest. It's always very different when you see a work in the flesh, that you see the surface, you see how it works. Some works which came across really well on digital imagery don't work. They don't hold together in the same way when you see them in the flesh, and vice versa. Some works which just don't seem to have any depth to them in a photograph, you start to see tiny touches of colour or tiny marks. There's a depth to the surface which you hadn't appreciated when you see it digitally as a photograph on a screen, and that's been really exciting. And so you do get an emotional response, because that's the nature of looking at art.